Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dragon's Creek Gaming. This is Sins and Consequences, a Blades in the Dark actual play podcast. We're going to introduce you to our cast today, but before we do, I want to talk about a couple of things. It's the same things I talk about every week, guys. Calm down. Sydney Fable. I will fall upon my sword and admit that I have done wrong by you, because last week I forgot to credit Sydney Fable in the audio. In the audio. I know, it was awful. They didn't even ask me to do that necessarily. I just think it was really cool. That's the coolest person I've talked to over a couple emails about, and they were just really chill about lending out the music. So yeah, the music that you're listening to right now, all but maybe one or two songs in the entire podcast are composed by Sydney Fable. Check them out on YouTube. The link is in the description down below. Also, Bag of Mapping, same as usual, bagofmapping.com. This is not a paid partner sponsorship. I just really like the guys. I think that they're trying something new and they're just building up a company. Check them out. If you do, you get 25% off your first 2 months of subscription if you choose to go for the pro level. It is free to use. Oh, there they go.
All right, start over.
Yeah, it's free to use, guys. But if you do subscribe, you get access to a couple extra features and a mobile version as well. And it's only $2 a month. But if you want to save 50 cents, just use the coupon code DragonsCreekGaming, and you'll save 25% off your first 2 months. Other than that, I don't got too much going on in terms of business. Rate, review, subscribe, go to Apple Podcasts and go to Spotify, rate it 5 stars unless you didn't like it, and then don't rate it at all. And without
if you don't like us, then shut up.
But still listen.
Still listen. Still listen.
I don't care if you listen, just download it.
Yeah, just download it.
And then shut up.
You know how you can show it stuff? Just mute the podcast and leave it running in a different tab. Just leave it running, but mute it. That'll show us.
That's a real burn. That'll burn my enchiladas.
Yeah, the more you do that, the worse we feel. So just keep going.
I cry in my pillow at night.
Don't fall asleep to us talking and playing Blades in the Dark.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Or do what everyone else does and just enjoy the podcast, because it's an excellent podcast.
I've heard that.
Yeah. No, and I will introduce our players now. I'm gonna mix it up a bit. I feel like I've gotten into a rut starting with the lower letters of the alphabet. So I'm gonna start with Dio. Dio, you have to introduce yourself. Tell us about your week and tell us about your character.
Week's been pretty good. I've been, for the most part, trying my hand at new dishes and just kind of trying not to go out to eat as much. So far, I've been successful.
Yeah, it's tough.
Fair.
It takes so much time to cook, you know? It's obviously better, but it takes so long.
Yeah, but you know what? I've gotten into my rhythm of at least 1 hour a day of just, I prep all this stuff within the week. I cook within that hour, and then after that, I have lunch for the day. I have my dinner for the night, lunch for the day.
Oh, meal prep's the best.
Yeah,
absolutely.
In the summer, it's all about meal prep. I just make 82 pieces of fish and put it in my freezer.
But I'm gonna be playing I'm playing Albatross, and he, after putting 3 holes in that vampire that was ready to kill the hell out of both of myself and Adam over here. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. I'm gonna forget every single one of your characters' names every single week up front.
We were hanging out with Ludes. Ludwig.
You mean not Steve Buscemi?
Yeah.
I mean, he might look kind of like Steve Buscemi, but he's definitely not Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I wonder how he's doing after all that. But
Buscemi, he's probably doing great, man. He's been in a lot of great stuff lately. All right, I'll show.
But now Albatross is going to do some checkups and making sure that he has his mechanical arm and everything else that he needs of this snuff.
Yeah. All right. And next, we'll go to Ethan. Ethan, same deal. You had a week. Tell us about it. You have a character.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
All right. So I guess I'll kick it off with my character. I'm playing Vehelker, a spider or mastermind. What happened last week, actually? I guess we had the blockade. We got really high accidentally. We managed not to mess things up, and it went positively. And then we just had some downtime. And I think tried to get my teeth checked, but they're still kind of messed up. So I just have to live with that, which is a terrible character reality that I'm gonna have a struggle role playing. But that's fine.
I mean, you've been doing it for a couple weeks now.
Yeah, I've been ignoring it mostly, which is how I handle it in real life.
Yeah.
It's like that check engine light. Oof.
Exactly.
I mean,
Sometimes
you can always spend coin or rep for an extra downtime if you really want to deal with it. But
I agree, but then it's also money, and to be honest, I think they cares more about the money. But yeah, as far as like how my week went, I actually ended up me and my wife went and we walked around a cemetery, and I wanted to share this with the group of I don't know, can people see this?
Yeah, it's I can see it kind of just populated on my screen without my
Yeah.
consent.
Yeah,
Coffin
so
nap.
it's a cemetery stone, and on the stone is Coffin Nap, and Nap is spelled Knapp. But I'm thinking, I'm like, do people change their names when they die to have better like namings on this? It's absolutely perfect. Like, it's so good.
Someone's singing a coffin nap.
So
maybe that's
I was-
why they got married.
Maybe that's why they died.
Well, so I say the last name was Coffin with other person Nap.
I
Yeah.
think so.
The
And like,
first name
can
was
you
Coffin,
imagine?
and they saw a lady nap across the way. It was like, oh, you.
I just love the typography on this damn like stone. It was like I don't know, like it's a really good text that like there's so much negative space in this stupid stuff. Like I don't know, it's just so well designed, but like
Isn't it great?
what
Yeah,
is
no,
this
I
supposed
loved
to
it.
mean?
And so, like, I couldn't just imagine Till Death Do Us Part by Coffin and Nap. Really kind of lines up there. And then I took one other really cool photo of the Sears Rock. And so one of the stones at the cemetery had the family name of Sears, but Sears as in like the Canadian or like yeah, like there's the Sears Tower, but like it's the exact same logo as like if you go to a mall in Canada and there's like a Sears to buy like a jacket or something, and it's like this just feels like advertisement, and it
are
really
they still
had
in
me
Canada?
thinking, are there ads?
Yeah,
It's
we have
just advertising. Oh my god. Yeah.
advertising at the cemetery. People are dying to come in.
Yeah. I love it. That's by the way, the tower is named after that same company. They used to be around in America, and then now they're not.
Yeah, it's because they were
And I
bought
guess
by
they
the Hudson
renamed the
Bay
tower
Company.
to like Willis or some bullshit, but I don't buy it.
It still feels weird not seeing the Sears building on Lake in Harlem.
Oh yeah. Mhm. Oh hey, check this out. Here's a little fun fact for you guys. If you ever come down here to the Chicago area and you visit the Sears Tower, Willis, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, all the
Sears
public
Tower.
areas, Sears Tower, all the public areas in there, if you see anything that's made out of wood, that was me. I made that.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
especially if you look by the stairs and you see anything that's made out of, check this out, Australian red gum. That was your boy, and it's glorious. It's fucking beautiful.
Taste tested by the
Don't
man
taste it.
himself.
Don't taste it. But I did. Well, you know, if you work with a table saw and you're cutting wood, you get a little bit of flavor. It happens.
Mm-hmm. Adam, you might as well go next. Tell us about your week. You've told us about your feats.
My feet. Let me talk to you guys about my feet. No, nothing's going on with my feet. Don't worry about my feet. They're totally reasonable. Let's see. I don't know, man. I put in a lot of overtime at work in the past 2 weeks, and we're finally done with that, which is magnificent. I can't believe the previous shop I worked at, I was on overtime for 4 years straight, working at bare minimum 53 hours every week for 4 years. Sometimes I was working like 65 hours. I don't know how the hell I did that for so long. I worked 2 weeks in a row, putting in almost 50 hours, almost 50, and I feel like I ran a goddamn marathon. So we're done. It's fantastic. We celebrate by having some donuts. Here's the deal, though, right? We had the new guy. The new guy's like, he's not a union guy. He's like a laborer dude. He's young. He's like, I want to say like 18. And basically his job is like move that, push this stuff around, sweep this up, right? He's a helper dude. And they sent him to go get the donuts. He went to Dunkin' Donuts, and this motherfucker, he got 24 donuts, and 4 of these donuts were plain donuts.
Wow.
Plain. Plain. What an asshole.
What an asshole.
I'm a plain donut guy. I'm really sorry to bring that up right now.
What an asshole.
Glazed though, Ethan. Not even like an old-fashioned glazed. Just a plain donut.
Wait, it wasn't even glazed?
Plain donut. Not even
What's
glazed,
next
just
and
plain.
everything?
No,
Regular?
that's why would you do that then?
It's
Yeah.
all donut.
I'm
You
like, dude-
only appreciate the donut flavor. You don't need anything else. There's no vanilla. There's
No
I don't
sugar.
appreciate the donut flavor. I don't appreciate it. I need there to be something going on, man. I need some jazz in my life, man. But yeah, so I looked at them. I'm like, dude, these ones aren't even done yet. Take them back. Get something put on there. Anyhow, that's what I've been up to. Other than the hustle, trying to edit stuff and work on Shadowrun podcasts and working on writing things and working on watching movies for a couple of minutes at a time during my lunch breaks.
Those are fun. The movies you get through watching the movies 6 to 8 minutes at a time, and it just takes like 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's my life. Split Second I've been watching. It's got Rutger Hauer in it. I've been watching that for the past week. But yeah, so this guy, I'm playing Ludes or Ludwig Acton. He is a creep who has reckless tendencies now that he almost died, but lived. So he's like, I'm gonna live forever. He doesn't fear death. He just fears being alone. You guys don't know that about him, but now you do. He's got a lot of nipples, and he kind of looks like Steve Buscemi. There you go.
I identify a lot with Ludes, the way you've built them, because I also look exactly like Steve Buscemi. But no, this is like a weird fact, and don't harp too much on this. But when I was younger, I went through a period of time where I was like a severe insomniac to the point where I was actually suffering from psychosis.
I had a solid couple of weeks where that was going on.
No, it was a couple years of my life there.
God,
but
I'm so sorry.
no, that's okay. It's all good. But when I was younger, I also thought I was immortal, and my evidence for that was that I had not died yet. I was 16.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, we were all stupid. Some of us still are.
Yeah, that sounds like 16-year-old logic.
yes, it's just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm immortal. I might outlive that child. Like, yeah. And yeah, but yeah, that's just kind of funny. I do actually kind of identify with Ludes a little bit. I mean, he's creepier than me, I hope.
Yeah, that's the goal.
That's the goal. And we got one more player here. Don't worry, we didn't forget. CJ didn't abandon you, listeners. She's right here to tell us about her week and her characters.
Or was I?
Bum, bum, bum.
Alright, I'm CJ. I'm playing Myri Stelkalan. She is the leech of the group. She was also one of the other ones who got high during that last it was her fault that her and Faye got high. Failed bomb, as one does. It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. Why are you worried about it? Shut up.
Also got rid of that ghost that was there. That was haunting her. That's got that squared away.
Yes, you are no longer haunted.
This week took my cat to the vet, and now he has topical medicine, which meant I put on his I got a walking vest for him because I wanted to try walking on a leash. He doesn't like it. He just is so dramatic.
They never do it first.
He just flopped over, just like, I can't walk. I can't move. And so today I was like, I realized he would still be able to kind of get at it. So I was like, okay, sorry, buddy. You got to go cone of shame time.
No.
Pretty sure he likes it even less. Vest made him all sleepy. The cone, he was just like, ah, ah.
I was gonna say that cat's planning murder.
Oh, Adam is sharing something on his screen.
There you
River
go.
red.
That's what Australian red gum wood looks like, just in case you guys are wondering. There you go.
It
That's
is red.
pretty-
Viewers at home,
It
it
is
is
red.
very red.
Beautiful.
All right.
That's it.
All right. And last and totally least, it's me, Aaron. I'm a GM, and incidentally, I also GM this game in particular. What else? Let me tell you about my week. My week has been hectic. I run I'm a owner of a pretty seasonal business. I work all year round, but I work more in the summer. And basically I get like 100 emails a day of people telling me that I need to be somewhere that's like 3 hours away from where I am currently.
Right now.
Yeah, that it is a thing. You know what? I'm just gonna say this. If you guys have like a contractor in your life who you know works like a lot and is driving around all over the countryside trying to help everyone out exactly the same way they're supposed to be helping you out, you don't have to wait till the day before you open your business to ask them a question. You could do it like a week earlier so that they might actually be able to answer before you open your doors. I'm just gonna throw that out there. But yeah, no,
Hear
it's
that,
been
Steve? You dick.
yeah. Yeah. Fuck you, Mike. No. But no, yeah, it's been a crazy week. Been busy, but it's a good thing. I mean, ultimately, it means that I'm making money.
There you go.
Yeah. Who am I playing today? Well, it depends who you talk to. So that's where we are. Talk to some people, and I'll play as those people. Yeah, and without further ado, I'm just gonna do a quick recap. I mean, it did get brought up in the character introductions. They, Myri, Ludes, and what's his name? Albatross. Albert Ross. They were beneath the canals, in the canals beneath the city. They had found an ancient library, and inside it was filled with hollows. They made a hectic escape. And like they said, there was a lot of failed rolls in a row, like a lot of failed rolls in a row. Ludes almost died. Vea and Myri were stoned out of their minds. But you did manage to cinch the day and escape the library more or less unscathed. Then we proceeded to go and see a doctor for, I think, an hour straight. No, I'm kidding.
Sounds about right. I mean, it's
yeah,
you say
there was-
unscathed, I say almost dead.
I was just say it's like
Yes.
going to see a real doctor. You waiting room for like near an hour, and then you get to see the real
right.
doctor.
Yeah.
I'm a patient boy.
Yeah, no. We did a lot of recovery rolls. We kind of ran right through downtime there. And so this week, guys, we're going to talk a little bit. You guys increased in tier last week, and we didn't get too much into it. So we're going to get into it right now. Like I mentioned last week, if you haven't already, make sure you add your 3 stash. You get 2 plus new tier level stash whenever you upgrade, move up a tier. You also get your cohorts. You have cohorts. Mechanically speaking, they are adepts. You had 1 or 2 of them before, and now we're moving up in scale as some new people joined your cult.
Right.
Yes. And so I want to put it out to the group. Who are these people? Do you think that they're local college kids that have started to come? Do you think that they're people from the Church of the Weeping Lady? Random homeless people off the street?
Ooh.
Who's joining your cult today?
I mean,
Oh man.
like we've had it where like we've been like asking like students to come in to check out our cool ghost. So I feel like that's
It's true, but that is true, and yeah, I think that makes total sense. The only thing it really changes is what they're willing to do.
Yeah.
These people are loyal to you, but they might be principled. They might not be willing to murder in the streets for you.
Yeah, I don't know if
We
we
get
want
interns?
I don't want principals. Are interns principled?
No, they're doing it for college credit.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter that the college has been destroyed.
They'll do anything for credit.
Still give them some credit. Yeah, dude.
Could
Let's
just
get
be
some interns.
it could just be the community college anime club.
Let's get some interns.
Their
I was gonna
strength
say.
is -1.
They don't have deodorant in their inventory.
Interns, please. I don't know, man. I think so. You'd mentioned some homeless people from the area. I kind of like that. I like the idea of interns. I like the idea of students.
Interns from the Weeping Lady? That was brought up.
I doubt they have interns. I think those are.
Well, my pitch for them would be that they just recently decreased in status. They moved from tier 2 strong to tier 2 weak. They are losing followers, is mechanically
take
or narratively. Yeah, that's the thing. They might
do you
be
guys
coming
think?
towards you. Yeah. Okay.
All we gotta do is to knock them down one more peg,
and
we'll
we're on the
take 'em
same
out.
playing field.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, and that's up to you guys how you handle that, but it is happening. And so yes, you've spent some time mostly in recovery. Ludes has been at Sawtooth's getting surgery done on him for a number of days. They did see that he was alive, if not well, when he stopped in to get his own maladies looked after. I actually kind of forget what Myri and Albatross did, because I didn't listen to the episode before recording this one, but presumably they were doing stuff as well. Sorry, one moment. I have something in my head. When you're returning from Sawtooth's, you're kind of rubbing your jaw. You're walking down the cobblestone streets, and you have a moment where a carriage is moving a little too quickly and a little too close for your liking, and you hear that sound of like the wooden wheels crashing across the cobblestones, and you jump out of the way. And that look of surprise on your face, maybe we zoom in on that. And we see you yawning, a little bit younger, a little bit less tired looking, perhaps. You're sitting at a desk, a mountain of paperwork in front of you. You're in the Railjack Company, in your old office. It's a 3x3 room, just large enough for a desk and a chair. You have a lantern sitting on your left-hand side. You're only at 7 hours into your 20-hour shift.
Oof.
You have just been recently hired, or promoted, I should say, as a scheduler. I believe is what you said your job was?
Yes.
You schedule the trains?
On
Yeah.
books.
You are the youngest person in Railjack Company history to get the job title, prestigious job title, one that your father held. Fun little fact about Vay's growing up. He lived, you lived in the Imperial capital, did you not, growing up?
Yes. In
Yeah.
Imperial City.
Yeah, in the Imperial City. Your mother was a homemaker. Your father had the same prestigious job you hold now as a scheduler. You barely saw him until you turned 14 years old and joined the Railjack Company.
It's the first time you met him.
Which is why I joined the Railjack Company, was to
Yeah.
get closer.
To see what's more important to my father than family. It's the Railjacks, of course. It must be the best thing on earth. But you get there, and it's not all it's cracked up to be. Yes, people treat you differently. People seem to be kinder to you when you show up and you have your Railjack emblem pinned to your jacket. But the actual work itself, it's a combination of long, boring meetings and looking the other way as gratuitous amounts of illegal substances and drugs get moved in and out of Imperial City. Yeah, tell me a bit about your day. You're 7 hours in to your shift here, and there's a knock on your door. Who's there?
You know what? It would probably be my boss checking in for the third time that day to see that I've gotten through as many binders of paperwork as he was expecting me to go through.
And did you? You know what? Give me an action roll. Give me an action roll.
Oh shit! It's getting real.
Roll for work.
Study?
Yes.
Roll for 9 to 5.
Yeah. We're going to say it's risky for standard effect.
All right. Work. That was a 1. So no, things are not going well.
Incident in the job place. You have to file a damage report.
Yeah.
Unpaid overtime.
So you
Oh,
see-
unlimited unpaid overtime. Welcome to salary, pal.
Yeah. The door opens. It whips open. There's a corpulent man with 18 chins. And
That's so many.
his frame is wider than your doorway, which you know was not built to code, if there even is a code in this world. And he sits there and he says, "Where's the schedules? Like, did these trains supposed to run themselves?"
I've been working on it. I almost have it done. I had a little bit of a problem. I was going through. I realized that when you're handling these forms, you got to be filling out the third column and not the fourth column. So I went through and I'm typing them up again, and I swear I'll have them in the next 20 minutes.
20 minutes. And he hands you like a bronze watch. It says 20 minutes is 20 minutes. You don't wear a watch, start wearing one. You work for the Railjacks.
Perhaps.
Your father can't help you now. And
No one
your
can
father,
help you now.
yeah, your father died last year.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Like that is why you got promoted, actually. You were training under him, but it's a complicated job. You really didn't get the training you needed. But
this really hit
yeah,
me,
your
Aaron.
father wasn't. I'm sorry. I hope your father is. He was alive and well a couple weeks ago. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No.
talking
He's
about
fine. It's just narratively, it's really pulling well.
Yes.
The funeral was very emotional.
Yes. And yeah, you don't get it done in 20 minutes. There's a lot of yelling. There's a lot of cursing from this man, and you just take it. You know that this man couldn't hurt you if he tried. You know, like you're not a tough man, but this, you just know, like one of these days, like it just really gets under your skin. The way he talks to you like you're nothing. And a lot of people at the Railjack company talk to you like you're nothing, but none more so than Jaren. Jaren is a little bit older than you. I'm going to show you his artwork there. So you are 23, give or take, at the time. Jaren is 29. He's about to turn 30. He was gunning for your job and it was denied. And Jaren shows up at your door 20 minutes later and you're still not done the work. And he says to you, "Hey, Bae, keep this up, and you'll be losing your job, which is about time.
Wordless. Thea's got nothing to say. Maybe face is flush red, and he turns down and just tries to write faster, which maybe making a few mistakes, even speeding up.
Yeah. And this has been happening. You've been finding it harder and harder the last few weeks to get your work done on time. You're finding like the work's coming in with a lot of mistakes that you're catching. And you keep finding it gets worse and worse as the months go by. This is when the bags start to form under your eyes there, Faye. And it dawns on you one day that the mistakes that are getting made are the same mistakes made by the same department, and it's the department run by Jared.
I knew it. I knew it. That Jared. Yeah. And this all lines up.
Yes. By the time you notice this, it's too late to address it. You try to address it with your bosses, and it just they say like you have to figure it out, and they just keep telling you to figure it out. And one day, when you think you're going to be your boss knocking on the door, it's not. It's a pair of blue coats. They drag you in to the prison. They start asking you about embezzled funds in Duskvol. You've never been to Duskvol before. But over time, they actually put you on a railjack train, drive you out to Duskvol. There is where you are arraigned. You go to court. You don't even have a defense lawyer. Just the Crown prosecutor lists out a bunch of charges and throws some evidence down. Jaren stands up as a witness.
This definitely feels like a Duskfall kind of court hearing, I would say.
And you found yourself in prison shortly thereafter. And we come back to the modern day, and as the cart passes across the street from you is Jaren, shopping at the local bakery, picking up his bug loaf.
Ugh, from the bakery? What, do they toast it? Gross.
Yeah.
Gotta eat it raw.
So, quick question, before I action this, in this universe, what are, I don't know, cool spy type things you can plant on people as far as like, I want to like slide a hand, like an ink bomb into his pocket. I think Vay would be maybe a little petty about this, and maybe having a pen in hand and possibly some materials nearby.
Malicious, inconsequential chaos.
Okay.
Get up!
Yeah. Go ahead. Let's see what you got.
Okay.
You have, access to any items that they have. You do have a bomb. Are you still carrying it? The one with
syringe
the
bomb.
Oh my god, no.
That's maybe a little high level. Well,
I would say that you have you have access to things like a fine bottle of whiskey. This is a pretty simple thing. You're basically like nonsense prank level stuff. I'm gonna say that you can make it, but can you plant it?
yeah,
That's a different question.
No, that's a good point. So I'm like, yeah, this is maybe, I'll say this is probably Oh, this is probably finesse more than prowl, wouldn't it be too? Bugger.
I would take a prowl. I would take a prowl because you're trying to sneak something. I'll be nice and say that.
Okay. And I'm like, if I were to push myself, that's 1 stress, right?
2 stress.
2.
Oh man. Can I make it 1 considering it's an
Right.
inconsequential type action?
No, this is not inconsequential. This
Okay.
might have dire consequences.
This might have dire consequences. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take 2 stress then. I'm going to do it to give myself another die because I care about this. They was quite put out with how he was put in jail for that. This whole thing is Jairus's fault. So yeah.
Yep.
Is this risky for? Does it be standard or limited effect?
This is gonna be standard. Jaren is not a particularly savvy man in terms of the criminal world. He is not. He looks like a victim, so to speak.
I see.
That's a.
All right. Well, I guess we'll roll, and then we'll see how we talk through this. I hope I'm not totally steamrolling over some conversation that you had like planned at the beginning.
No,
Okay,
I did not.
that was a 5.
You do it. There is a consequence. Yeah, a complication occurs. You successfully managed to get this. You basically, it's like a little, like a children's toy, like a pop bottle, or like a little firework. You put inside of a glass vial and you fill it with the ink from your fountain pen. And you manage to slip it into his pocket and walk by. Jaren sees your reflection in the glass and he turns and he's like, "Vey?" And it explodes in his pocket. And he's like, "What the hell? What the hell?" And yeah, like his butt is all covered in ink as you scurry up the street. Now you can resist any consequence. So if you don't want to be seen, you can take more stress.
I kind of took stress to get that successful. So no, we're gonna, I guess it'll possibly be seen, and I'll have to just deal with that in the future.
All right. Just a little moment for Vey. We didn't know a lot about him. I wanted to learn more. How would he react to seeing his arch rival?
I appreciate getting to learn about my father and of his passing within like 12 seconds. But I guess that is fair within this environment. It's like, you have a father. Oh, he's dead.
Dad.
I have a dad. I mean, Myri's got a dad.
I got a
She's
dad. You
probably
want
changing
him?
in a second.
I think Vase is better.
Yeah. He tried his best. It's just he was never around. But yeah, we return to the group. There's a couple things we got to do. We got to figure out what our next score is. What you guys want to do next. Over the next, we're gonna say it's about 2 weeks between when you guys go to do your next thing and when we finish the last score. Between going to see doctors and visiting people, whatever you guys want to get up to, it's about 2 weeks. During that 2 week period, people start to show up at the library. A few of them, sorry, I know we just talked about it, but I'm blanking. You guys wanted the Church of the Weeping ladies.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Get some adepts in here.
Yeah, so you do see a couple of these women. They're wearing black robes, but they are not wearing veils. They seem nervous and sheepish. Who wants to be the one to greet them as they come? And since no one's volunteering, it's Myri. Myri, you're at your workshop, and you're reading some of these books that you found in the library. When you see, we'll say four of these women.
They knock, they just walk right in.
They like one of them nervously kind of lifts the curtain, and is like, "Hello."
Oh, finally, some sensible people who actually speak up when they enter a room.
Yes. I'm sorry. We're my name is Farah, and we were acolytes of the church of the Weeping Lady, but since your intervention, the spirit of the church has changed. And the statue, it calls out for us to find it, as if it's not there.
I'd say that's certainly interesting. Especially that bit where you said were acolytes.
There have been changes. It's just, we thought we were doing good. And we thought we were, and they are doing good. They're healing the sick, and they're doing all the same that they did.
Of course.
It just feels different these days. Like, angrier. And they are extracting money from the people they heal. And they never used to.
You see at this point, Ludes walks into the room, and he's got like a jar of bug juice that he's like scooping out and he's eating, and he stops and he goes, whoop, and he turns around and walks right back in.
Little like under the hand like shoe moves, just like no, get out of here with your gross bug juice.
Whoop, and then he walks away. It's like, ooh,
I'm being like, no,
they're
stop.
here.
Don't scare the new guests, damn it.
Like, yes, they've been extracting money from the people that they're trying to help and turning away those who can't pay. Honestly, I don't care if the statue is a deity or not. I only joined to help people and to learn the secrets of this world, and I don't need both. I just, if you help people, if you have secrets to offer, I'm willing to work with anyone who can help.
Oh, well, there you go. If it's secrets you want, we have found quite a few of those.
And the four of them kind of carefully move into the room as you divulge secrets to them.
Secrets.
Yes.
Ooh, our secret tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
We
and that's
have a secret tunnel. That's great.
We do have a secret tunnel.
I actually think now is a good time, because I was looking at your character sheet for the crew sheet. You guys have 5 heat. In theory, if you make a fortune roll and roll a 6, you can gain 1 coin right now.
Wait, what?
Because you guys have the vice den, once per downtime, you guys can roll a fortune roll or a tier roll and subtract the amount of heat you have from that number and collect that much coin.
So if we roll this, technically, if we managed to roll a 6, we could get 1 coin.
You could get a coin, and maybe I don't know who's taking them down, but maybe this is a good time for you to introduce them to this vice den that you've created.
What would it be? What's a good vice in a library?
Oh, the
got
vice
that-
den, the
we got
cathedral.
that suicide pool.
Oh, it's
I'm gonna
it's a
say
cathedral,
the-
that's right.
Get a nice little fun little quote unquote baptism.
Yeah. So maybe you lead them to go and be baptized in the way of the soul seekers. Yeah, Go ahead and someone give me a fortune roll, basically 1 die, or just roll a d6.
No.
Yeah, don't let CJ do it.
All right,
I'll just throw one of those out there.
Yeah.
I'll roll it. So just
I
fortune
rolled
roll
2
1D.
on accident.
Well,
There's one. Got a 2.
Those were all over
All
the
right.
map.
Don't worry about it.
oh, okay. Unfortunately, you didn't gain any coin, but you did gain some followers. As
I'll take him.
who was there to make sure that these ladies don't drown in the water?
I would, but if anyone else wants to come with, that would probably be a good idea. I'll get 2
So you-
people.
So you just left him there to
No, I went with. I'm asking if anyone else wants to come with me.
Yeah. We're kind of glossing through time. This doesn't all have to happen within moments of each other. This might be like a couple days later or something. But yeah, just narratively speaking, if 2 of you are there,
They would go then. If we're looking for a pair,
Yeah.
I mean, they and Myri were the ones who went
Yeah.
under, so maybe they're, in there dunking other people down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Talking on peeps.
Holding him by the
Yeah.
ankles and just like dunk dunk.
And what does it look like when you do it? Do you do it baptism style, where you just shove their head under the water, or you
I like
hold
what
them by
Adam
the
was
ankle?
saying. So we have like a rope mechanism. Like, so we've got these boats, and then we tie ropes, and then we tie people by their ankles, and then we lower them down for like a period of time, and then you bring them back up again.
Nice. I love that. Yeah, and that's something. You have a tinkerer on your team. Like she would have
I
worked
can make a
that
nice
together.
pulley system.
Yeah.
pull the liver crunk.
So yeah, you lower these people, and they are enamored. This is something that all their years in the Church of the Weeping Lady, they never showed them anything like this. And
It's probably for the
They-
best.
yeah,
The
but-
ghosts didn't make me feel anything, but the gears. The
Yeah.
gears they did.
and the 4 of them get on their knees and they bow and they prostrate before you, and they call Myri a prophet.
Oh, flatterers.
Notably, they're not too sure how to deal with Fae because they are accustomed to
The lady.
worship being a thing that women do.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, they're like nuns.
at some point, like on the side, he'd be like, "I'm the one. Like, I talk to God, but okay, like."
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Just let him accustom to it. Get accustomed to it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's
Give him a week. Don't worry about it, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
And we have one last bit of business to deal with before we really get too far. You guys have to pay Lord Skurlock.
Hey, we got money.
Mechanically, you owe him 2 coin
Cool.
because it is tier plus 1 coin. So increasing in tier unfortunately makes this a little bit more expensive.
yeah.
Albatross is a knocking.
It's a cruise sheet.
Oh, we got it.
I mean, yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
got it.
Oh yeah.
Come on, baby. You know I'm good for it.
And so who would like to deliver this coin to Lord Skurlock?
You can't see me pointing, but yeah, you.
Albatross.
He's our go-to
Oh.
man.
All right. Does Albatross go alone?
So, I know we had talked about Skurlock. Maybe at this point they would just kind of have a I would like to meet up with Lord Skurlock at some later point. So maybe send that messaging out with Albatross.
Okay. Yeah, you send like a note giving him like I would like to meet. Maybe you can arrange a time that's suitable for you
Let's get
and send a message
coffee,
back with
kind of privately, that kind of thing.
okay. Yeah, so you do that. Albatross, when you go back, you see Lord Skurlock. He's actually at his home. He's got some paperwork in front of him. and he's writing it with like a feather quill pen, and he looks up and he's like, "Oh, my little bird, you've returned."
I've come with the dew.
From those folks at the library.
The very same.
What exactly were you up to last week?
I was hired to do some work.
We've known each other a long time, Albatross. When I ask you a question, you should understand that I intend to find an answer. Where were you last week? What were you doing? And why did I hear the death of a vampire? Do you know?
Oh no.
Busted.
It's rude to assume they all know each other.
At that point, it was either it or I.
So it was you. Well, good on you. It's not an easy feat. And he gestures. He says, "Was it the woman in the library?"
Indeed it was.
She was a rotten bitch. You can go. Leave the coin.
every single person all at once was like, "Whoo!"
Yeah.
Oh, you care about that, whatever.
Like all of us at the same time were like, "Woof." Oh,
Albatross
man.
takes a bow and leaves.
And presumably you left the missive, and Lord Skurlock finds you, Vay. Like, he doesn't even really write back. He doesn't send a message back with Albatross. Just, again, you're going to the store to buy a couple of you got to pick up
Pack of
supplies
smokes.
occasionally. Yeah, you're picking up a pack of smokes and a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
And Lord Skurlock turns around and he's the shopkeeper. No, I'm kidding.
Like a mustache.
Welcome to
and,
Walmart.
Like
Smoking a pancake?
very obviously this
Yeah.
bad disguise that just kind of falls off.
The bartender got a drink and a rag in hand.
It's like the Santa
Like
Claus
Mr.
at the mall
Fish
that
Odor
clearly
from
isn't.
Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
It's just everywhere.
Oh, you're at a sundry store, not Sawtooth Sundries, because his sundries are terrible. But you're at a sundry store and you're buying a bottle of liquor. When you put it on the counter and you go to reach for your coin, you hear some coin slide, and you look, and Lord Skurlock is right beside you. You did not hear him walk up, and he pays for the bottle for you.
Nice.
I heard you were looking to speak with me.
Oh, well, much appreciated. It's always nice to have a friendly neighbor nearby to help out. Yeah, I was looking to have a quick chat. I don't know if this is maybe as private as I'd like it to be. Maybe we
You can
can...
go for a walk.
Exactly. That sounds good.
And he does he walks with you. As he does, until you get to a private spot, he is nothing but like pleasantries and declarations about things that he sees. He points out buildings and he says, in this building, the current president of the Ministry of Preservation, I guess the premier would be the word nowadays, he actually grew up in that house. But his family was oh so quick to abandon it. And now, look, it's just a series of stores. There's some apartments above. The city's growing and it's thriving. 6 towers will be the new Brightstone one day.
I can believe it as much as I see it, Lord Skurlock. I gotta say, when it comes to entrepreneurs, it's definitely your name is the reason why we decided that we wanted to come to this community and see if we couldn't help out and help the citizens prosper and us along with it.
Yeah. And he does that with a few buildings, right? Like he's just kind of telling you about the sites, and he tells you about a little bit about the history of the families that used to live there, who they are now, what they were, things like that. He just seems very knowledgeable about the district and the city in general. And you get to his favorite little coffee shop. He leads you inside, and when he grabs a seat, the 4 other people, the other patrons that were here, get up and leave.
All right.
Is this private enough for you?
It is. I'm most gracious for this time, and on that, I'll do my best to respect yours. And so, yes, the reason. First off, just wanted to say hello, meet the man in person. I've heard a lot of things about you, and I really appreciate the business we've had. But let's talk business. I've met a certain acquaintance of yours, and they've put me in, I'd say, a little bit more of a bind. And at this point, Vay's gonna just kind of touch a bit of the outline of the burn on is it the neck or the top of the chest?
It was on your chest and it's been spreading.
Yeah. So
up to your neck.
Yeah. So kind of just motioning into that side, and at the same time, just kind of talking in of it's like I find myself indebted to someone that I'll say I have very little respect for, and would be most appreciative if we could talk about you helping me out with this debt, and I would be indebted to you quid pro quo, if you understand what I'm saying.
Are you showing him the bird?
Or
are you just pointing out that you have something on your neck?
Yeah, pointing out that I have something on the neck, not showing the burn itself.
And he pulls out a black book, like a little black book, and goes, I know many people. If someone's giving you a hard time, we can certainly arrange a negotiation.
All right. So at this point, okay, so here's what I'm thinking. When they met this demon, there was glass shattering as we approached. It was closer and closer, and then, to be honest, when it first happened, I actually don't know if I actually got the name. You did mention it at a later point. It's somewhere in my notes.
Yeah, she said specifically to you the words were, because it's been a while.
Yeah.
Tell him my name. My name is Sarada.
That's it.
Or Satara, sorry, Satara.
Yeah. Okay, so taking a so what Vay would like to do is kind of go well, as I'm trying to remember her name, it was something similar to, and he's gonna take the glass of water that he has in his hands. He's gonna kind of put it over and just let it fall and let it shatter on the ground, as a check, as a that's who they were, through audio cues at first.
Yes. When the glass shatters, it's very, very slight, but he flinches. And he turns to you, and that fake smile that he always wears kind of turns to a scowl. You have embroiled yourself in something that, yes, I could help with, but you would owe me Perhaps more than you're willing to offer.
Perhaps, but I think if I had to choose sides, I'd rather go with you.
What did she ask you?
To tell you her name.
Then you need to do it.
Oh man, all that workaround. Tell him your name. Tell him. What is it? Is it Scalic? It's like Scalic, Suli. Starts.
It's Satara.
Okay, so I don't know if it breaks maybe a bit of the seriousness, but I think it might actually take 2 or 3 quick checks to get to the right one. And then, yes, Sally, Stuli, Satara. Tell him Satara. I'd like to speak to him.
This is you've done me a favor as much as anything. It is good to know when you are being sought after. He hands you a charm from his pocket, and it's like a little glass figurine. Keep it on your person. Don't lose it. And don't break it. You won't see her again. But I just need you to understand something. Things are happening in this city, and things are going to change. You and your friends will stand by the side that is right. And that is, of course, by my side. When push comes to shove.
Well, with allies like you and Albatross, and assuming that the rest of your cohorts are just as powerful and intellectual, then I'm sure we'll be on the winning side. And I love to play on the winning side.
Any allegiance you have to the Emperor?
None.
That's right.
Looking at him, he's like shaking. I'm like, do you have some?
Nah.
But yeah, he abruptly stands. You can see him. He looks uncomfortable, and he walks away. Again, his footsteps are silent. And yeah, we'll leave you there. You have paid Lord Skurlock. You have had your meeting with him. You have received a tier 4 Demon's Bane charm.
Oh.
Okay.
Gotta not break that.
Yeah, you return. You return maybe, and you see Myri, Albatross, one or more of Adam's characters, discussing the future, what they would like to do next, what do they hope to accomplish.
All right, war room scene.
Zoom into red yarned map of the city.
Oh, we got the murder board.
Is that Albatross's murder board? Yeah.
Select your mission. Sorry,
Yeah, this is an open world RPG.
And for some reason I heard Metal Slug music.
Why not? But yeah, no, this is the time where you tell me as the GM, in or out of character, what you guys are trying to do next, so that I can accommodate and make it happen.
What's it gonna be?
Yeah, we did discuss last week about potentially visiting the Deathland Scavengers and learning more about the artifacts of Gotar that they might possess.
I'm on board for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it up.
All right. Yeah.
All right. That's a lot of enthusiasm. Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's
Right,
do
you
it, guys.
Let's go. Go on adventure.
So yeah,
I'm just here for the money.
your crew ventures off to Dunslow, which is where you know the headquarters of the Deathland Scavengers is located. It's the first time returning to Dunslow since you guys broke out of prison. It certainly looks a bit different.
Keeping
Um,
the hood up.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, and you've been reading the papers lately. You know that there are no bluecoats, no spirit wardens, no real law enforcement, like official law enforcement going on in Dunslow right now. It's a point of contention between them and the various factions that would like to enforce the law, because Dunslow has evicted everyone who wasn't a prisoner or worker or a resident of Dunslow.
But we're good. We can tour around, right? I guess there's
Actually,
an
yeah,
amount of trading, right?
Yeah, there is. So I was actually just going to say, as you approach the bridge, heading towards Dunslow, you see caravans moving lots of goods, moving wood and materials in, and moving like food, like a lot of food out. You
What kind
see,
of food?
well, it would be
Eels and
mostly eels,
hagfish, right?
eels,
Okay, just the regular
yeah.
stuff. Okay.
Uglo.
Yes, but you would know that the vast majority of affordable food comes from Dunslow, though your pockets would also certainly notice that as of late, the price of food has increased significantly.
Oh.
Yes.
Art really does imitate real life.
Yes.
I love that expression though. Your pockets know how much you've been spending on food. It's like, oh, that hits home.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember when milk was only $2 for a gallon.
I remember when it was $1.25 for like 4 bags of milk.
What does that
Bags
equate
of
to
milk.
in cartons?
Yeah.
4 liters. 4 liters.
Yeah, you gotta use freedom
2
units, buddy. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Nothing more free than only having to multiply and divide by 10.
How many gallons?
I don't know.
I have the internet.
There's 3 liters in a gallon.
No.
Gallon. I thought it was like
A liter is a quarter of a
That was-
gallon. So
The
4 bags of
metrics
milk.
I want to
it's
use is
3.78.
Yeah.
The meter I want to use is how many Big Macs does it take to fill up 1 bag of milk in Canada?
What's your dolphin to badger ratio on these things?
We go by woodchucks.
So we have- Yeah, we have more wolverines than badgers in our country. Just saying. They're
What's your
incredibly dangerous.
Wolverine to milk bag ratio? How many milk
4.
bags do you think a Wolverine could stuff
Which-
inside of a woodchuck?
Which, by the way, a Wolverine's piss smells horrible.
It does.
Why
Yeah.
do you know that?
Okay.
They're in the same
I'm-
family as like ferrets, and ferrets stink too.
Sorry.
Have you guys played the game Until Dawn?
I've
It's like
watched
a-
it.
I have
Yeah.
not.
It's a horror game, and I've also watched it. One of the first jump scares in the movie is that they go to this cabin in Canada,
Mhm.
and there's like a noise coming from the kitchen, and then and they go, "Oh my god!" And they open a cover, and a fucking Wolverine comes out, and they're like, "Oh, thank God!" It's not like a
Right?
ghost. It's not a ghost or like something scary.
That's a
It's just-
wild rabbit animal.
Give me a
It's
ghost that
just-
can't hurt me, rather than a fucking
Okay.
Wolverine.
Make it a
Like, take-
raccoon. Like,
Yeah. Take
I don't even
like
want the raccoon. I'll take
take
the
a
ghost.
30
Or
30
even better,
pounds.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. Take a 30-pound dog, give it like 5-inch long claws and like a murderous intent. And that is what a Wolverine is. It's just like
It's
a
like my
murder
daughter.
machine. Yeah.
Nah, her claws are they're very small. We trim those nails.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's all along. But no, you guys make it into the thing. You see that there's a lot of commerce going on here, but you also see that the ghettos are literally moved. Like they have been like moving buildings. Like they had these ramshackle kind of like makeshift lean-tos that people were living in.
Ramshacks, yep.
They've moved from like where they were, where you robbed those people of their clothing. They've actually moved closer to the prison, and they're building wooden houses, and even like some stone buildings outside of the prison.
We helped the community.
Yes.
That's what happened.
it was us.
It was us.
The change in the jurisdiction has definitely been us. We're gonna need
Yes.
a new map.
Yeah. In yes, and in place of sorry, I'm gonna activate this. In place of the blue coats and Master Crockett and his dogs and the prison wardens and prison guards that were rampant in the area. Instead, a bunch of shirtless men with bill hooks and pole arms, just kind of milling about and gesturing to merchants and workers. Yeah, you as you kind of make your way through the district, are you heading towards the prison? Are you heading towards where you would know that the Deathland Scavengers are, which is kind of on the far southeastern side here of this map?
You guys want to make a detour to the prison, check out old gigs, see how things are? No.
Nah.
Nah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I want to move fast.
Yeah, so
Move
you
fast,
guys
head down.
so you guys make your way south. You move past the mire, through the labor camp, and through Ragtown is what it's called. Ludes, when you get to the labor camp, you see a woman.
Nice.
Nice.
Sorry.
You see.
Oh,
Nice.
no. What? No. I mean, she looks fine, but that whatever the fuck this hook on a noose is that she's got, I don't want any part of.
Yeah.
It
She's
may
not-
hurt me.
She's got that like attached to her hip, like on her belt.
Like the
but-
hook part?
The rope part.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
It's like a
Yeah.
giant fishing line.
Yeah, she's got that. You see her. She's kind of kneeled down and she's like talking to a child. And as you walk by her, you see her look towards you, Ludes, and she stands up. And
A
she
flash
says,
of the pearly golds.
"Oh, the teeth suit you. Much nicer than your old ones."
Yeah. Yeah, you know, sometimes you gotta treat yourself, right?
That's right. And you shaved. And she without like any sign of like the ick or disgust or anything like that, she caresses your face and she says, "You shaved."
Wait, is this her? Is it Mandy?
No.
Oh, okay, all right. I don't know who
Yeah.
the fuck this is then. Like, yeah. Yeah, as often as possible. Yeah, it grows in kind of thick, so.
No. I didn't mind it. I thought it was quite nice.
And smell weird.
You didn't come back. That was the plan.
I almost fell to my death recently. I'm having a little bit of a hard time kind of remembering a lot. Who are you?
She for a moment kind of furrows her brow. She looks pretty pissed. She's like, I'm Aaron.
Yeah. I hit my head real hard.
You better have. No, you were at the fighting pits out in Coleridge. And you asked me out.
And, what'd you say?
I said yes.
Oh. All right.
After that showing you put on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course.
We went out. We started a riot. We robbed a bunch of stores in Silkshore together. We made love.
Oh.
And you didn't.
Nice.
Yes, it was nice.
I think all of us, the rest of us, just standing like a few feet away, like, what the fuck is happening? Like, we each other, like,
Luke turns back and he looks at everybody and he winks and he gives a thumbs up. Nice.
Adam,
The same stoic face. It's just like,
could you use
Yeah,
the
and she-
character's name when you're talking to Aaron about how you're in such a great relationship?
Well, Erin is pretty pissed. Her name is Erin, and it's important because it's in the book. It's in the rule book because she's that.
Okay.
You're not just doing a thing right now.
No. My name, as the GM, is also Erin, but this is
Yeah.
this is
Just a
this
little
is a different Erin. Oh,
this
It's Aaron with me.
yes, it is. She's an Irish lass, except she's not because Ireland doesn't exist in this world. But yes, you didn't come back, and I'll just say this: it's not going to happen twice. Next time we go out, you're going to call me.
You know what, baby? You all right. Hey, I got this place where I got these ladies that have been hanging out, and you ever make it out to like 6 Towers? We got some space. You can hang out with that rope, and see you again soon, real soon. I gotta take care of some stuff. We're going out. I'm going out into the dealing with some of these these outside guys, these Deathlands guys, and it might be nice to come home to a little. What was your name?
Aaron.
Aaron. No, it was a test. I wanted to make sure you remembered. I hit my head really hard, and who's this? Who's this kid?
I don't know. It's just a kid. Like it's a fucking
Oh,
shitty
okay.
kid. Who gives a shit?
Go ahead. I just wanted to be sure. I don't know how long it was out after I hit my head, and
Yeah. No, the kid looks like real hurt. Just calls him shitty.
Hey, why don't you piss off? I got a thing I'm working on you.
But she hands you a bag, and says, "Well, I don't know if you remember or not, but you asked me for this. I got it for you.
Thank you. Of course.
You find me.
It's
I
nice
live-
bag.
I live in the house just north of the prison, and you can meet my dad again. And yeah, we got some work for you, and you're gonna take me out. We're gonna go to Silkshore, and you're gonna buy me dinner. And my name is
Yeah, of
Aaron.
course.
Don't forget it again, or I'll gut you."
Okay. All right. I'll see you again real soon. I got a thing I got to take care of, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
And she pats your ass like really hard, like you almost like leave the ground as you walk away.
so like
Nice.
handful of cheeks just
Yeah.
Just propels me a foot forward. Whoa.
Hey, you got the claw.
Is this like
Oh my
the
God.
trauma where it's like a reckless relationship with this woman?
It's gonna
It could be. It's up to you. But yeah, do you look in the bag she gave you?
Not until I'm at least like 4 steps away from her.
Yeah. Like you catch up
Okay.
with the others and you're like walking away. She
I
goes
thought
back.
they were all
she's
just
doing
standing there
some work.
watching this happen.
I mean, we are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Both of you seem
Yeah.
to be very close.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, she said
How
the,
did you manage to pull someone like that?
you know, I don't know. But I got this bag here. Let's see what's inside. I'm gonna like hold it out away from my face and open it, and then peek in.
As he's opening
Once-
the bag, Albatross is gonna respond. Charisma goes a long way.
Maybe. I don't know.
It looks like someone's middle finger.
I take it out. I'm like, maybe I should hang on to this. I don't know. Maybe this will
Are you
come
going
in
to explain
handy
any of
later.
this?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't remember her at all.
I hope
At
you
all.
didn't tell her that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were there.
Ludes, looks like your bag's
Let's
a
get
good
the fuck
one.
out of here.
You know, I wouldn't let that fish get away.
And you make your you approach the camp that the Deathland Scavengers had. Again, it's like southeast on this map. It borders up against what is known as the Lost District, which is there's no maps of it.
It's because you
But
lost
basically,
the
no, I just don't like the way the maps line up, to be honest.
Gotcha.
Because yeah, where it is according to the main map doesn't make sense with the Deathland Scavengers being in Dunslow. That's all I'm gonna say. So it's now southeast of Dunslow. But the Lost District, like what almost happened to Six Towers, was again like it was like a district that people lived in the city of Dunslow. It was one of the original districts. When the lightning barriers fell, it got consumed. No one bothered to reclaim it and just kind of closed in the lightning barriers and let anyone who fell outside of it perish.
Oh.
And so as you are approaching, you can see like rows upon rows of houses, old farmlands, and like an ornate large building. You can kind of see it silhouetted off to the side. Also, just as a bit of flavor, well beyond that, you see what seems to be like a mountain slowly stand and stretch way off in the distance. Like this would be like hundreds of miles away.
I'm sorry. You said the mountain stands up and stretches?
Yes.
What the fuck?
There
does that
are
mean?
just like there's just demons out there, and some of them are colossal.
What the fuck? All right, let's not go anywhere near whatever the fuck that is.
I think this is kind of like
Oh,
like
Shadow of the
Xenoblade,
Colossus?
yeah, or Shadow, right? Or it's just like there's just people who live on the turtle.
I was thinking the rock biter from Neverending Story.
Yeah, that giant like demon is nowhere. It's not part of this story unless you decide it needs to be, and you go and chase after it. It's like it's so large that even though it's nowhere near you, you can see its silhouette. That's all.
Oh, nope.
Because that is what the Deathlands are. It's just wild and filled with demons and ghosts. But you approach, you see several, like I would say probably like 6 or 7 dozen people like kind of milling about this camp. Some of them are setting up supplies. A couple of them are training with lightning hooks. You see a tall man, very lean, wearing what looks like a demon's pelt. So it's like furry, but it's got like way too many eyes. And it's got like 2 heads, one on each shoulder. Each one has like 6 eyes, and it's like a black bear almost. And then beside him, you see like a broad lady that kind of she's got like short dark brown hair. She's about like 5'10" and probably like kind of like Brienne of Tarth, like width, like she's got some stature to her.
Okay.
Yeah, and you see the 2 of them. People seem to be reporting to them. You see as you approach, like people will come up, ask them a question, and then go off. They seem to be in charge. The camp is fully accessible. There's no walls or anything to stop you from walking into the camp.
Let's head in.
Yep, absolutely. Y'all approach. Who are you talking to? Or I guess what are you doing? This is a gather information session, or like it's not session, but like you can gather information here about the artifacts of Kotar. There's more than one way to skin this cat. Like you can talk to people, you can sneak around, you can look around, you can do whatever you'd like. But what are you guys doing?
So Vay's going to approach the less scary of the 2 people that you talked about. Whichever one is scowling less, Vay is going to approach that person.
It's the man. It's definitely the man. The woman looks just like really pissed off. Not at you. She was pissed off before you got there. But the man turns to you and he says, "Hello. Name's Richter. You're new here. Are you signing up?"
Hello, Richter. My name is Vay. I come with a few associates. We're possibly looking to sign up. We're looking to help out and see. I guess we are signing up. I guess we're looking for. No.
No, don't sign up.
No, what are you talking about?
No, we don't want to go out there. You see that giant fucking thing? No.
Maybe you can talk us through what it is exactly that you do here and what the job would be.
Well, we're Deathland Scavengers. We scavenge the wastes for the valuables that are out there. It's one way to earn a living here. It's one of the few honest professions left in the world.
Doesn't sound like that's for me.
Well, a lot of people say that, but most of our recruits are former prisoners, people that were put in line for execution, given the choice to join us or face the gallows. But business has been booming as of late.
Well, you don't say. I have a hard time imagining what kind of trinkets you could find out there in the Outlands. It doesn't really seem like it's worth the risk, if you ask me.
Trinkets is maybe not quite right. Artifacts, for sure. Some of it has sentimental or historical value, and the Ministry of Preservation will pay for them. Some of them are quite powerful in their own rights. Remnants from before the Cataclysm. Even the animals out there are different than what you might expect if you've only ever been inside the city. And they're valuable in their own right. And to prove his point, he takes out like a small dagger and he puts it into the pelt that he's wearing, and the blade bends.
What? Okay.
Yeah, it's just animals are different.
I can see.
So it's like in Blank Man, where he like stabs the pajamas and the boing. Nobody saw
Yeah.
Blank Man? All right, fine.
He just
I saw Blank Man. That's an old reference. I have not thought of that movie in a long time.
Think about that movie all the time.
I like the thought that he just ruins blades as like a presentation thing, and he's just got this bowl of blades in the tent inside, and just kind of stocks up again for the next dude.
For the next tours.
He just hits it from the other angle to bend it back.
Wow.
Yeah, there's quite a bit out there. For those who are adventurous, desperate, or stupid. Some combination of that.
2 out of 3, huh?
So I went in for a chat to be like, oh, maybe it's this, but I'm kind of hitting a bit of a dead end. Does someone have a pivot that they maybe want to throw in
Yeah.
as far as?
What kind of artifacts are we talking about? I mean, it's you're trying to like recruit a bunch of people in, and you're just kind of being vague. You know, you said artifacts. I gotta know what are you talking?
The artifacts aren't for you. We sell them or we keep them for the betterment of our people, and you can become our people. But
No, I
Yeah.
don't think these two quite understand. I don't think this conversation is going quite as. I mean, we are potential buyers. We would be interested in what exactly you have. That accent went everywhere.
aw,
I am everywhere.
you
I
were
can do
looking to
accents.
buy artifacts.
We've heard some tales of you getting your hands on some good stuff, and you might be interested in getting some of that.
Yes, if you're an interested buyer, talk to Thorn, and of course I'll listen. But Thorn is the one who deals with the business, and she is right there. So she just says, "Yeah, if you're buying, what are you trying to buy?"
What are we trying to buy? I don't remember what the thing is.
The 3
so
body parts.
that there's the eye, the hand. Oh my gosh. Oh, give me one moment.
I think I got part of the hand.
Is that right?
You think that's the hand?
Oh, eye, hand, and heart of
Well,
Kotar.
Yes,
Kotar was
heart-
mummified.
the heart is at the Ministry of Preservation. The eye is in Charter Hall, and they have the hand. Well, but the hand is somewhere, and they think that the Deathland Scavengers might have it. Is what you were told. The Circle of Flames is not omnipotent, so they could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But if you would like to do it as a gather information roll, we can kind of do it that way, and then that way I can give you information and see how well the conversation goes.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
My brain is dying.
No worries. Yeah. It doesn't have to be Myri. Anyone can give me a gather information roll here to see.
Please, not me.
Yeah, not her. What am I? What
I don't have any
Well-
pips in anything. So
well-
that would be.
Yeah, you tell me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be. You can command and bully it out of her.
That's not me.
That's a little vague. But also Vey is a bit more of a consort.
Man, consort's way.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
socialize with friends and contacts. Gain access. I always struggle with this of how do I define this person I don't know as a friend?
So
Very friendly.
I would say consort is kind of like the make friends, proper etiquette, party role. One way that you could use consort instead of sway. Sway is kind of like you're convincing them to give you the information.
yeah.
Consort is you're extracting the information
Okay.
through social maneuvering.
So, you know what? I kind of dig the operation that you got going here, but I'd really like to look around a bit more to kind of better understand what the day-to-day is going to be. You know, I come from the Railjacks. I'm a very sorted, kind of by-the-books person, so getting a sense of, what I could do and contribute around this operation is, what I do on my day one. Can I roll a
Okay.
consort roll to see how that gets handled?
Yeah. Yes. And then I will need to understand I'll have to get you to like repeat that because I feel like I missed it or misheard it.
Fine.
But give me your consort roll first.
Okay. So I'll do a risky standard for that.
Controlled standard.
Oh, controlled standard. Lovely.
Yeah.
Double sixes. All right.
That's a critical
Yeah,
to success.
So
Okay.
what I was saying is basically, I'm thinking I want the position. Can I do the onboarding and tour around the camp to get a better sense and maybe chat with a few people of like, hey, like I'm, thinking of working and all of that.
Yeah. Richter says, sure. While they're talking about whatever they're going to buy, if you'd like to join, we could always use someone who's actually decent with logistics. Oddly enough, most people who join us can't read. And yeah. And so, yeah, he goes with you. And he's showing you around. You get increased effect, which means you're going to get a lot of information. So you learn a bit about like what the Deathland Scavengers are good at. They are exceptional survivalists. They're also like trained ghost and demon hunters. You learned that they were the ones who, after the spirit wardens were evicted from the district, who actually captured and released the ghosts that were brought in. They do not like Tarvel, but Richter respects him at the very least. But Tarvel has taken over the district, and is basically running it from prison still. His daughter Erin is been a lot friendlier and easier to deal with. What else? When you start asking about artifacts, he gets a little bit squirrely, but he apologizes at some point. He says, "I'm sorry. I know I get a little bit on edge. It's just we found something a few months back, and ever since, people keep coming by and asking us about it. And it's frankly one of the few things that Thorn seems intent not to sell. I've seen it. It's vile. Just you can feel it. That's the hand of Kotar. I don't know if you're familiar with Kotar.
Oh, yes, Kotar. He has many. There are 3 artifacts that are around, and if I had other notes up, I'd maybe throw those in.
Yeah,
He's got many
no worries.
limbs.
Yeah, he has the eye and the heart are the other 2, and he's talking about the hand of Kotar.
I've even heard tell of a foot, though I've only heard whisperings.
But you alone.
Has a great rating on WikiFeet.
Is that a thing? Does that exist?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a thing.
There's a wiki for everything.
So what he says, because we're gonna go on break soon here, guys. I just want to finish this conversation. I have to go pee. Yes. He says to you, the hand, it's a vile, evil thing. You can feel it. And like, I'm not talking about like, oh, it's not natural. It's a ghost. It's a spirit. It's a demon even. There is something awful about this. This is dangerous. And so we hid it in the Deathlands.
Bugger.
Fuck. And cut to break.
Yeah, I'm like, that's like the big
That
zoom
big
out.
arm soup and a snap of the fingers, like, darn.
That's the zoom out. The camera pans over the Deathlands. It's just fucking lightning and ghosts, and like you see like rats the size of Doberman, like fighting each other to the death.
Oh yes,
That's
the,
like
the rats of unusual
in the
size.
Deathlands. Yes, the rats of unusual
In the
size.
Deathlands.
Sounds like the New York subway.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, they're fighting over some pizza.
Yeah. And on that note, I'm gonna go fight my wife over some pizza. I'm just kidding. But we are going on.
My wife.
No, I'm kidding. But we are going on break here, guys. Be back in 5 or 10 minutes. Enjoy an RC Cola and urinate in that order.
Great outro, Aaron.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed that ad break. We are in the southeastern section of Dunslow in the Deathland Scavenger camp. Vey has been talking with Richter, who is apparently in charge, at least to some degree here. He strikes you as a military man, Vey, just the way he conducts and carries himself, despite his kind of more wild appearance. He kind of dropped the bomb that when they found the hand of Kotar, they found it to be vile and evil, and thought that it was not safe to bring it into the city, and chose to hide it in the Deathlands. And that is where we left before our break there. Any further conversation of specifically about the hand of Kotar, he starts to get kind of cagey and will avoid talking about it. If you push it too far, you could tell that he would start to get suspicious and maybe ask you to leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's understandable. But yeah, I mean, after going through and getting the tour, I think they would head back to the group, maybe kind of skulking along the sides, and relay all the information.
Yeah. While you were having that conversation, Myri was talking to Thorn about potentially buying some artifacts.
Well, if you got that, then I think I'll just to help the cover, like see what they got, buy anything that's any particular plasm thing. Is that's got any of that kind of stuff going on? I forget what it's called.
Few hazard suits.
Well, so I'll just say this. If you are actually interested in buying a mechanical item, acquiring an asset, there are some stuff that's about 2 coin. It's really expensive. But there is some stuff here if you are interested.
But that's all my money.
It's an investment.
Yeah. It's something to keep in mind. We don't actually have to do that right now, but we can always do a flashback later to you actually did buy something if you find you need it in the middle of a score.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. So you kind of have this opportunity where you're talking about different items and you're kind of playing along that you would want to buy. If you ask about Kotar, she does a very good job of pretending like she doesn't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But the 4 of you kind of part ways from the group. Vey relays that information.
So what, are we gonna go out there? I don't think that's my scene.
I can't say that's any of our scene. I'll looks at weird, strange mountain-esque demon, just kind of scratching itself
Who wants to deal with
Not much of a fighter. I'm more of a, I guess I'm more of a lover. Didn't even remember, but hey, she sure did.
Yeah.
I'm curious if I can hunt down the person who originally found the arm of Kotar.
Well, based on Vey's conversation, it seems like and just generally the vibe, They go out in crews because it's not safe to go alone into the Deathlands generally. But this particular crew was helmed by Thorn and Richter, though there would have been other people on there, like that were there at the time. And so you can definitely make a roll and see if you can track these people down without arousing suspicion.
Okay. I'm going to use a hunt roll, and then I also have Scout. When you gather info to locate a target, you get a +1 effect. When you hide in prepared position, well, I get a +1 for effect.
Yeah. Oh, +1 to effect. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just going to open your thing and read that because I just want to make sure I heard that right. Yeah. I think that's perfect. So you Scout, you're a military man. There seems to be some sort of structure here. Like a hierarchy. And you would assume, yeah, you can pay enough attention. You'll find your man. But go ahead and give me that hunt roll. It's risky. For I guess great effect. It would be standard, but you get +1 to effect.
And then I'll push to add an extra day.
Okay.
These die rolls are
Make your
so
roll.
exciting. It really is like that bit of tension.
Yeah.
Waiting for the dice to pop out.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, you got the success for great effect. Not only do you find your man, like you actually find like there's a group of people that they seem a little bit more experienced. They have a few more battle scars. One of them, apparently his vice is the drink. And he's in his cups a little bit. He's not hammered, but he's definitely a little bit maybe 2 sheets to the wind.
Okay.
And you pinpoint him, and you go talk to him.
I was just actually, upon studying this, Albatross will look to Ludes and say, "Ludes, I think you should make friends with that group over there."
Huh?
And if anything, would I be able to find a bottle of alcohol somewhere in this encampment for me to just hand him?
Yeah, take Vay with you. Take Vay. Vay actually has it on his sheet. He has a bottle of fine whiskey.
Okay.
Why not? And maybe the 4 of you go talk to him. Like it's up to you who's in the scene. But you rolled well, which means that you succeeded, which means I'm going to give you some information. But yeah, you guys kind of corner him there, potentially offer him some whiskey. And he says to you, he tells you stories. He tells you stories about being in the Deathlands. He actually kind of likes it, the way he talks about it. It's freeing, it's liberating. There's order to the chaos out there, in the sense that you know that you can't trust the environment, but you can trust the people around you. Is the way he talks about it. As he's kind of getting a little bit looser, he does just kind of let it slip. He says, yeah, the hand, Thorn wanted to hide it out in the Deathland. She just left it behind. Everyone knows, like, somebody's looking for it. They're willing to offer a lot of money, like a lot of money for it, like enough that I wouldn't have to go out there again. And she just said no. And she left it. And she left it in the Lost District. Just right on the cusp, beyond the Lightning Tower. We're at the base of the lightning tower.
That's convenient information.
It's just
It's like,
such
wow,
a
what a coward.
waste. I don't know. She knows something I don't, I suppose, but I trust her. But it's just to think I could just have a family and a life with that kind of money. We all could.
Maybe we'll be
I don't know.
fortunate and it could be found again. We all know we need a lucky streak.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. You go out there by yourself, you're gonna get yourself killed. But yeah, I don't know. If you find it and you want to give me some money, I'm not gonna stop you. But you have best of luck, eh?
Awkward.
If you do go out there, make sure you bring some Spirit Bane charms. Something good. Something potent.
Noted.
Yeah. And he takes like one last swig from the bottle and hands it back to Vay. And
Backwashes into it.
It's alcohol. It cleans itself.
My turn.
yeah. Is it? It doesn't have to be here in this camp with these people. Is there any other information you'd like to gather about the Deathlands, or about the mission, before we
Like, are we
Get
allowed
into
to
it.
just like walk out?
I don't think anyone
The
would stop us, but
that actually would be a gather information roll because, but you can do whatever it is with the +1 because they worked with the Railjacks.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be you even. It could be Vay himself.
So I can do a study roll
Oh.
on that if you'll allow that.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Do a study roll. Basically, Vay is assisting for free, just given that you guys are talking. And again, like the Railjacks is one of the few factions that regularly leaves the city, so
Okay.
they know about that stuff.
So +1 study controlled standard.
Yes, yeah.
I'll take a 5.
Okay. Vay talks about how there are tunnels like that the Railjacks use, like where the trains actually go through the barrier. But the lightning barrier is always on. And if you try to walk through it, there's like a 70% chance you'll get struck by lightning.
I don't love those odds. That is one of us getting through.
Yeah, I can get through that.
Well,
I'm not worried
actually,
about that.
the other bit of information you would know is that explicitly nothing will get through on the ghost field, which is how they work.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I can just walk through that. 30%,
Right.
that's plenty. Get right through. I'm not worried about it.
Has this world invented rubber yet?
It hasn't. Rubber trees grow in the Deathlands, and nobody's been brave enough to harvest them. One more piece of information I'll give you, just because I don't want to leave you with nothing. Some of that stuff you would have just known. The Deathland Scavengers clearly have a way of getting in and out, and that there probably is either a mechanism or a ritual that would help you get through. You don't know what it is, but you could certainly find out. Yeah.
There are things like ghost doors or things that you can like travel through and they go different places. Do you know if like those can like go from outside the barrier to inside the barrier?
You know that when you used your beacon, that spirits made their way through the barrier. You would know, like, so what you're talking about is explicitly a cult, like, upgrade that you can get. Like, it's one of the ancient gate. It's safe passage into the Deathlands. You don't have access to that. You would have to get access to it. But there might be another faction that does have access to something like that, including the Deathland Scavengers themselves. I'll just give you the hint. A couple other factions that might have access to it would be the Dimmer Sisters, Lord Skurlock.
I've heard of that guy.
And maybe the Forgotten Gods, like the Church of the Forgotten Gods. Yeah, I mean, it's a partial success. That's really all I can give you with that. But you know it's certainly possible, but you don't want to just walk through.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys maybe are back and forth between the district and your lair as you guys figure out the plan, figure out what you're doing. We can abstract a little bit and do the planning and engagement if you'd like, unless there's anyone specific you would like to talk to, because some of this stuff is kind of covered in the planning and engagement roles, which I'll show here. Show players.
Here's
Yeah.
the plan.
Yeah, because your characters do the planning, you guys don't. What we do know is that if you were to do this, and I'm not saying you have to, if you were to do this score, which is to go out into the Deathlands and retrieve the hand of Kotar, that would be your goal, is to retrieve the hand of Kotar. You guys would pick a way of doing it. You know that there is threats in the form of spirits, potentially rogue demons, maybe even other people that haven't been pointed out. That it's certainly not a safe passage. But the Lost District is actually a little bit smaller than Six Towers is, and you can walk it in a day and back. So it's not like you'd be out there for days and days.
And I would also, I'm like, there would be old railjack lines as well, whether or not they're in use, but there's, I'm sure, some amount of throughway with that. So I think like options we have, right, is it's like we're talking transport, like do we find a vehicle, a rail, a car, something like that. There's social of like, do we try to deceive the Deathland Scavengers to, revealing, like not revealing, but like getting the hand to a place that we can access it more easily, like a sabotage type setup. I know Albatross does like sabotaging people, so there's into that. How would we do something with wreck? There's always an option with wreck.
Battering down that barrier.
An assault, you just storm the Deathlands. That is a point. That is something you could do.
Yeah,
It's just
big equipment loadout and just kind of items our way out there.
Yeah. Like
Yep.
A cult, you could engage a supernatural power. You could try and find a method to protect yourselves while you're out there. Yeah. Like I think actually all of these would work to some degree. It just is a matter of how you would like to approach it.
Well, just for like the matter of like getting into the Deathlands, I liked that idea of like finding an old rail jack, the railways, finding a tunnel that, and maybe finding some old forgotten utility shaft or something that's on the other side of the barrier that we could climb up out of if we find like old prints or something of old like blueprints for the railways.
Yeah, I actually I do like that.
Ludes feels good about just walking through. You said there was like a 30% chance they'll be fine. Let's walk through. Go get the thing. Come back.
What's the thing with reckless people?
In and out. I don't know, man. This third what's the word I'm looking for? Unrevealed character that I made would be great for going out into the Deathlands and dealing with, the weird shit out there. But
I feel you. like oh.
Okay, sorry guys, one moment.
I feel like I've had a couple times where it's been like, oh, I have these other characters click in the back of my head. That'd be cool if we had that one there. And it's like, we could use this one for that one. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do that, can't we? Like, I don't think narratively it's that big of a stretch. Like, if you want it, like, if that's the approach. So, what would that approach be with like that character? Just curious. Like, is this like a cult or?
What you were saying about like loading up and just kicking ass.
Fair. Like, we could also like we could talk mixing, right? We could go like, hey, it's trying to go and sneak in, and then like you pop out in the middle of the Deathlands, and then at that point, just
like, yeah. Because like that's just a matter of getting in. We still have to like actually go through the Deathlands to find the thing. So like, I think any plan that involves us going into the Deathlands, we're gonna have to be a little prepared to be fighty.
I think I think the plan with finding a railway to get out there, I think is probably the best. Finding a way, like if we could get some sort of train car that can kind of shelter us along the way, that'd be great.
Yeah. So
I like that, but then I don't know otherwise what we're doing.
So if the approach is a transport, where we're going to take a rail car to carry cargo or people, in this case people, through danger, the route and means. So we get to decide the route and means, which means maybe Vey pulls out some of his intimate railjack knowledge to know there's a route that used to go out to the Lost District, and what are the means. And we can decide as a group. I said Vey because he has the connection to railjacks, but the means is: are you stealing a train, or like borrowing a train? Are you like getting one of those like pump cart things?
Like the old timey cartoons.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
I was.
My back hurts
let's
thinking
absolutely
about
do that.
Yeah. And like, feel free to get ridiculous with it. Like you can have a train. It's gonna change the engagement role.
Let's get
a
a
little
fucking
bit.
train.
yeah, I'm like,
Let's get a
I
train.
want like a coal train that has
Ooh.
some spirit. Oh, go ahead, Adam.
Oh, I was thinking a train heist, except we steal the train rather than the stuff on the train.
That's fair. I mean, that could be the score. Like, it's nothing when you have the train. You just have to get in and out because the rail goes right by the lightning tower. Like, we can say that because I don't know. We can.
Vey loves this idea. This definitely gets back at the company that did him wrong. So, all in on having them lose one of their cars.
Yeah. You guys want to steal a train?
Yeah.
Sounds really good.
All right. So if we're stealing a train, we're going to go back to the approach, because now how are you stealing a train?
Verify the scheduled times as to what days the trains go by.
Stealth.
Find the easiest access point to get onto the train.
That sounds stealthy to me.
Yeah. Okay. the point
That's
of
good stuff.
infiltration would be the rail yard, which I believe.
Who says? Who says it's gonna be the rail yard?
Do you want to do bridge
Wow,
jump?
okay.
Like,
Fuck
I mean,
yes.
it would probably be the best one because especially like on a late night run where they would have a low staff of trained conductors.
Guys, I love it. I'm gonna send you guys a song later. You should listen to it this week. This is the energy at which I would steal a train with. It's called Energia, and it's by some Russian band, and it's
Is
amazing.
that the name?
That's the name of the song. I forgot the name
Oh,
of the
like
band.
is that the name of the band? Some Russian band.
No. But yeah. You guys want to jump on a moving train and try and steal it? Let's do it.
Yes.
Okay, so then we
Yes.
have the detail. We are stealing a train. We're gonna get it while it's in motion by jumping off of a bridge.
yes.
After the plan and detail are in place, each player chooses their character's load. Are you guys going in fully loaded and ready to bear, or are you guys gonna play it cool and try and keep it a little closer to your vest?
I'm gonna go sneaky for sure. Light load.
Okay.
and the loadout
Well, you-
changes your appearance in things, right? It's how much people can see you're packing.
Yeah. And I mean, it might not matter if you just go into the cabin and take everyone out in one fell swoop. Like it could totally go in with a heavy load on this one. With a poor engagement roll off the bat, if you have a heavy load, that's probably where you'll get nicked. Is like a blue coat will see you with your heavy load. But yeah, like that is it's ultimately going to be like how people react when they see you. Whether or not you could pass through checkpoints without being harassed, things like that.
All right.
So yeah. But Ludes is going light load out.
Oh,
What about Albatross? Albatross.
He's gonna go a normal loadout because
Okay.
sneaking to the train won't be a problem. Sneaking to get on the train won't be a problem once getting on the train happens. Oh my god.
CJ,
Sorry.
your cat
Poor
is
cone cat.
so funny.
Poor cone cat.
I just see this cone.
It looks like a bizarre creature from like a horror movie
Help,
with like no head.
help me,
It's like
mother.
Oh my god.
He's having a rough time. He wanted help.
CJ's cat is wearing the cone of shame and is currently looking for hugs.
Just no personal boundaries in your face. Just hello. Do you want to experience this cone with me?
Yeah. Oh, it's so sweet.
Oh,
Getting little cat kisses from the cone of shame.
there you go. All
Okay,
right.
but yeah,
what were we talking about?
Albatross has full intention of once they're on the train, it's get rid of any employees on the train and figure it out from there.
All right. What about you, Vay?
Vay's gonna go with a normal loadout, which is like generally Vay goes with light, but having to
Yeah.
deal with the rail jacks and then ending up in the Outlands afterwards. Gonna need a bit more gear on them.
Okay, and I think that makes a lot of sense. And what about you, Myri?
I need to decide between normal or heavy because I feel like I'm gonna need all my gadgets if we're stealing a train.
Go heavy. I like if you're thinking it,
Yeah.
I think do it.
Yeah. All right. You guys would know that the Railjacks is a tier 2 faction. Only one faction level above you. But because Vay was a member of the Railjacks, it's part of his background. I'm not going to make you gather information. There are people that work the trains. And There's actually a whole RPG about the people who work at the Railjacks, written by John Herper, called Ghost Lines.
Huh.
Yes, so if you ever want to really get into what Railjacks are, there's a whole separate RPG just about them. And it was the precursor to this game. But there are people who are basically security experts and anti-ghost hunters, as well as technicians that work for the Railjacks on the actual trains, as well as like there'll always be a conductor and like a co-conductor. There's always 2 conductors on each train. You know that no train will travel with fewer than 4 cars, as well. If it's a passenger or a cargo, it doesn't matter. They always carry at least 4 cars because otherwise the schedule would never work. Yeah, just things like that. You would know that they have access to lightning hooks as well as like just general weaponry. But they generally don't carry guns or like long rifles. They might have a pistol, but they don't carry long rifles. Yeah, just so that you have a little bit of understanding of what you're going up against. And with that being said, we can make our engagement roll. So you always start with 1 die for sheer luck. Is this operation particularly bold or daring?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Take your extra die. So that's 2 die. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target? So in this case, the target is the Railjacks. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? I think they do. I think any good train company in a world where half the people are criminals would be pretty prepared to fight people off when they try to steal from the train or steal the train. Probably not the first people to try this. So take -1d. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight into the operation?
Yes. I can absolutely get insight from Salia, the information broker who works at the Railjacks.
I would agree. I would agree. So take +1 die for that. So we're back up to 2. Are there any enemies or rivals interfering in the operation? Not in this instance.
Nice.
Are there any other elements you want to consider? Maybe a lower tier target gives you No, I'm gonna give you 2 die. I'm gonna let you
Struggle.
do that.
Maybe.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll whoever would like to do it, except for CJ. CJ's not allowed to roll it.
Not allowed.
Good.
That's okay. I accept this.
But yeah, it's basically a fortune roll, 2 die. I might even actually have. Yeah, there is an engagement roll you can roll. If you click the simple roll.
Oh yeah, engagement. There it is.
You got it. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so we're just rolling 2.
Yeah, 2.
Here we go. Get engaged. A 4.
I'll take it.
You guys start in a risky position. And we're just about at the end of our session here. So why don't you guys go ahead and set me up? You guys are dropping onto this thing from a bridge?
Either a bridge or if are they? I'm thinking about like VL. And you're not from here. There's like elevated platforms for trains around here. I don't know if you've seen like Batman, the second Chris Nolan one.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Dark Knight, yeah, where he's like riding around and he's like underneath the train tracks.
Oh,
So we
yes,
got
yes,
that.
yes.
Yeah, so we've got that here. So like I'm thinking like that, but like it like if we could be like on the top of like a cool like clock tower kind of situation where it's raining and it's nighttime, and like jumping off of like that onto the top of the train as it's moving.
How far you want to fall?
All the way, baby.
Albatross would take another approach, but
What do you
if
got?
you guys,
well, and you
but
can,
by
right?
himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, because like maybe it makes sense that somebody is up further ahead on the tracks to divert the train or whatever, right? Like, you guys can really hop in whenever, but the first obstacle is the first person getting onto the train. So who's the first one onto the train? And it sounds like it might be Ludes.
I think so. I want to get on there and because I'm gonna get on there quiet and move into position quietly without being seen, hopefully, and get things set up.
Okay.
That's why I'm going light load. I want to get in there real quiet.
Okay. So go ahead. This will be the last roll for the night. This is the last thing we're doing, but I want that roll.
Don't mess it up.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna.
Or
mess it
do,
up. I've
because that
I got -1 die because of my batteredness.
Oh god.
Oh.
So let's go.
I'm gonna jump the
I'm
shark.
in a risky situation. Is this for standard effect?
yes, you will do
Okay.
what you set out to do.
All right, here we go. Don't die. Don't die. Don't die. Don't die. Don't die.
Partial.
Why did
Okay,
roll
that's
2
finesse
dice?
roll.
That was supposed to only roll 1.
Oh.
Do you want to give it another roll?
Yeah. Why is it? I thought it would automatically do it. I guess not. Okay.
Oh
Minus-
yeah, you do have to manually set.
Oh.
Failure.
Okay.
Well, hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Just rolls again. Okay.
Let's talk about this.
Well, so the pushing yourself, the getting the assist and stuff like
Is
that, generally
ahead of
you
time.
would set up before you would roll. But if someone assisted you, now would be the time to call it out. If you're gonna push yourself, now would be the time to call it out.
And I assist.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we haven't established where you are in the fiction. This might set you up for where you are in the fiction. Which is one of the things about this game. You are everywhere and anywhere until you say you're somewhere.
You're in a super position.
Okay, and I would take the 2 stress to add to the roll, right? Or would
It's
I roll my own?
It's 1 stress to give him an extra die.
Okay. Then I'll definitely take the 1 stress.
Yeah. And
And,
I'll give you a
depend-
I'll even give you a devil's bargain there. As well. So let Dio explain how he's assisting, and then I will offer my bargain.
So first and foremost, Ludes is jumping onto the train.
Oh yeah.
What would happen is you would see a claw zip line onto the train and grapple on, and the wire tenses out and starts to retract back in. That
Whoa,
would be
what?
how
Sorry.
Albatross has his climbing gear attached to his arm,
Okay, you have climbing gear. Sure, yeah. Okay.
and he can eject it. Basically, with his skill of being able to fire a rifle, he uses parts of the mechanics in the arm itself to fire the hand attachment itself, and it will claw onto things, and it could retract him back in.
Okay. So Dio, I'm gonna take a step back here because I'm gonna put on my mean GM pants and say that that's a complicated enough action that it would be its own action roll.
Ah, damn.
If you're looking to assist, it's like you and Ludes are doing something together, or you've done something beforehand, or you're doing something right now. Like you could have just gotten on the train as a passenger and maybe you're helping them out that way. Like
Oh,
that's
that's an option. Mike.
That's
Oh,
that's
okay.
what I'm
Fucking do
doing.
it.
Like Vay's gonna be
Okay.
jumping on as like a person.
Yeah, that's fair. He's still trying to jump onto it like a fucking idiot for no reason.
Oh, okay. Then I have another one then. Well, what's gonna happen is, I would assume Ludes would jump out of the train, fall off, and you would see that claw hand come out of the window.
This is sorry, he has not fallen off yet. We're giving him
Okay.
the opportunity to add dice to his roll. So you can totally assist, but I just want to make sure that we're here. So Ludes was waiting above the train and he's about to jump on. And you can still be on the train and like you can maybe like reach out like and help him climb in through the window or something.
I was wondering
Okay.
if this is like they're on the bridge and like Ludes jumps and then like Albatross catches him for like 1 second, 2 seconds, and
just
then
like
drops
the
him
hand that sticks
because he
out.
jumped at the wrong time, and then Albatross goes in after.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I don't know how you feeling about that, Dio. Is that okay? Like,
Works for me.
yeah, just because like
Anything that we can get Ludes onto the train and not falling off.
yeah.
I should
So
have just got on the train like a regular person. I didn't realize it was an option. I would have just got on the train.
not bad, but yeah, they tried to tell you, but you're too reckless.
Yeah, apparently. I'm not gonna.
So
I'm
give
not gonna
yourself
complain. I mean, it makes sense.
an extra die for the assist from Albatross. Give yourself an extra die if you take the devil's bargain,
Which is
which is that this is a full passenger train.
okay. So I'm gonna roll finesse. I get -1, +2 for a total of +1 because I'm gonna take that devil's bargain. And it's gonna be loaded up with people. And there's a 6.
There you go.
Woo! All right. So
There you go. You got the success, so you make it on. Tell me about it.
So the train is coming. He's up on the he's out on a balcony of some building, and it's raining. He's got his shadow cloak. Sorry, his shadow cloak on, hood's up. He's trying to defend himself from the rain. It's nighttime. It's always nighttime. The train's coming. It's puffing black smoke into the air. He's waiting for the right time. He's like, all right, I'm gonna do it. Here we go. Oh god, I'm gonna fucking jump off this building. We jump off the building. We jump out of this fucking train. Here we go. And he jumps. And he lands on the top of the train, and it's filled with people. But he lands like a fucking cat. Like a cat with a cone on. Cone of shame. Lands on it gracefully. Sticks. Somehow.
Yes.
It's full of people. And he's on there. He's like, woo. And he's laying on his back, just laughing up at the rain.
Yes. So we end our session today with Ludes lying on his back on top of a train he didn't need to jump on. But maybe you did, because maybe that's where you need to be for the score.
I hope so.
Yes. Well, that's how this game works. You'll be where you want. Very quickly, let's go over some XP, guys. This is the end of the session, but not the end of the show. We got experience we got to go over. Albatross. Did you address a challenge with tracking or violence? With tracking, for sure.
Definitely. No violence this episode.
No violence. You guys made it a whole episode without hurting anyone.
Yeah.
You should be
Yeah,
proud of yourself.
This isn't what I
I
signed up
almost
for.
failed.
This
Almost
is
hurt myself real good.
You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
I don't think I did this.
I'll give you one, because you cowed to Skurlock pretty quick.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like maybe you have some loyalty to him. Maybe you're a little bit afraid of him. but there's something.
To be frank, it was just like, what is there to hide in that case? Like, it was kill or be killed.
That's fair. To be fair, you've never seen Lord Skurlock attack someone. Like, he's pretty calm most of the time. But you struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. Your vice, definitely not. Obsessed is a bit of a weird, not a bad one, but it's a weird trauma to have in the sense that I may not catch right away the way that you become obsessed. And so do you feel like it came up during the session?
No. There was a thing that I wanted to do to try to bring the heat down, but I missed that opportunity.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
that's
sorry
right.
about that. Well, but next downtime will reduce heat. Okay, so Albatross, you got 2 XP this session, which, considering it's a session that was almost all RP, I think is not bad.
Oh yeah.
And I get a new special ability that I have to try to figure out now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Take some time to figure it out. If it's from another sheet and you pick the veteran one, that's okay. I can always like drag it over. Just let me know what it is, and I can move it onto your sheet for you.
All right, duly noted. Thank you.
Ludes the Lurk.
Oh yeah.
You addressed a challenge with stealth or evasion.
I stealthily got onto the train.
You almost
Yeah,
evaded the
I'll give you
train.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'll take that one. Yeah. One.
Okay. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I'll give you one just for the conversation with Aaron.
Okay.
Any other time you felt like you expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Oh, not really. So it'll be a 2 for the.
There. Struggle with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. I feel like you jumped on train.
For no fucking reason.
Not for no reason. You can make there be a reason, but yes, that is an incredibly reckless thing to do that maybe other people would not have done.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll bless you.
All right.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
All right. So that's 3. All right.
Yes. Now, Myri, because you're not going to be here for next session, you're still going to get XP, but I just want to say, again, we will probably use Myri like you would a cohort to set up a situation where she probably isn't necessarily stealing the train with you guys, but maybe she's somewhere down the line helping you out in other ways. Just because I believe you're not here next week. But that's okay, because Myri will be with us even when CJ's not.
You have access to her character page.
Yes. Every time you roll a desperate, oh, sorry, no, I'm starting way at the top. Don't need to go there. You addressed a challenge with technical skill or mayhem.
Well, I did do a study roll for figuring out how to.
Yeah, I would say that itself is like you probably went about it from a technical side of things, like how does it work and like what are my odds that I'd even be able to make it through the lightning barrier. So go ahead and give yourself a point for that. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Don't think so.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't think so either. Not this session. You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session.
Not really.
Fair. Okay. Then we got Vay.
This was a big week for me, for Vay.
It was. You addressed a challenge with calculation or conspiracy.
I would say so. There's the
Yeah, at least once.
consorting to get the info.
Yeah. And I'll give you 2 because I think even to like figure out what train to take and all that stuff, that's a very special. Like he had the connections needed for that to happen. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Yes. I mean, there's definitely background and heritage with the story threw in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We got Valor drop.
Yeah. You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session.
So with that one, I was wondering, does having the whole back and forth with Lord Skurlock and getting into debt based off of because that was that a devil's bargain? No, that was from overindulging my vice in like the second session,
it
right?
was. So yes, because mechanically speaking, if Lord Skurlock asks you to do something and you don't do it, you will take like a huge hit to your faction status with him.
Yeah.
Like that, like you do owe him a favor, and there's a mechanical side to that.
He will remember this.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
So yes, go ahead and give yourself a point there.
You also got to see him go through his trauma in the office setting.
Yes. Yeah. So that's XP for today. Very quickly. Yes. One thing I haven't been doing and I should be doing is crew XP. Did you guys advance the agenda of your deity or embody its precepts in action? Not so much this session that I can think of. Actually, yes, you did, because you recruited a bunch of
Yeah.
And you're baptizing people. Yeah, give yourself 1 XP there for sure.
There you go.
Contend with challenges above your current station. You're about to, but you haven't yet.
I jumped out the train. It counts.
Yeah. So bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. I actually think you did. I think that you did bolster your reputation as the occult. You have an occult reputation as well as an ambitious one. Certainly those ladies were very impressed with your knowledge and your secrets that you shared, and the being dipped by a pulley into a strange other world. Did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew? And I'm going to leave this up to you guys. Did you?
I think so. In my head, trying to get the artifacts is kind of our main story quest at the moment, which would to me be the main drive. I don't know.
It's like one of the goals. It's like I don't know if it's a main goal, but it is like one of the goals that like we got sat down by NPCs like, hey, do this shit for us.
The cult demanded it.
And you know what, guys? That means that you exactly filled up your crew XP, and so you guys can take some time and this week and figure out what you're going to do with that. I'll drop all the rules for that into the chat so you guys can take some time and think about it. But yes, but with that all being said, XP's been divvied out, the score has been set. We're still on a train, ladies and gentlemen. Next week on Sins and Consequences. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Loop.
It gets better every time.